What's going on, beautiful people? Sam Cologne here, aka The Messenger, and welcome to today's show. I'm chewing a little gum today, so I'm not going to spit it out, so you got to bear with me. Now, today's topic is consistency. And it may seem so simple, right? But I'm gonna bring this forth to you with a new set of lens, right? Because we all know it. We all know that consistency is the key. We know it, right? Why don't we do it though? Right? Like, it's one of those things like, why we know something's good for us, why we don't do it? And so what we're gonna talk about today is like why we don't do it. And some exercises, some practices, some rituals, some whatever it is that you want to call it, some things that you can do to start wiring yourself different. Some practices that you can do, some things that you can put in place so you can start feeling different, right? Because if you're not feeling good, you ain't gonna do nothing, right? Your willpower would only take you so far, right? And so the excitement of something will only take you so far. The need and desire, the requirement of something will only take you so far. Because the moment that you get that thing, you're not going to keep on going. Right? So now, what can we do and how does this link up to consistency? Right? Now, one of the reasons why we are inconsistent in things, and that's me included. Well, that's why I'm saying we, right? What happens is in this brain and in this mind, let's say the mind, right? There's this thing that I like to call the mental arts. And one of the things that I like to teach people is how to get in that mental space and train it, right? Some exercise to train that mental space so that you can get the results that you're looking for. If you're not getting the results that you're looking for, it's because your mental space needs some work. Right? Now, Sam, what is it? 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 What do you talk about? Now, before we go into it, it's funny because right before, I drove off last week, we spoke about the topic that we were talking about. It's like, yes, let your yes be yes and your no be no. And one of the pieces to that was you need to have that targeted aim. Now, my brother was in the room that day, and right before I was coming over, I actually was with him, and, usually, the things that I talk about is, I don't write them down, I don't put notes down and stuff. It's just channeled, right? These are things that I've already put into this mental scape, and then it comes out through source that what needs to be delivered, right? In this case, I'm leaving the house, and I'm thinking like, I'm actually thinking about it, like, what we're gonna talk about today, because, seeing somebody else's perspective of what it is that they're looking for, right? In this case, my brother's a reflection, right? As within, so without. And so, excuse me, he was saying, something that you said to me earlier today about consistency, like it hit me. Like, you should probably talk about that, right? And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, right? And so like, what part of that hit him so hard was the consistent practice of thinking stinking thinking, right? If you're constantly having stinking thinking, and what the hell does that mean, Sam? Stinking thinking. You're thinking thoughts that are not useful to you and the creation that you are looking to bring forth, right? So if you have this idea, going back to last week's topic, this targeted purpose that you are going towards, right? And you're having this idea, but then back here, you're running all this old program, all this negative, I can't do this, I got to do that, or this bill and this drama and this didn't work out, blah, 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 in the background, and you allowing your source, your energy source to go to those thoughts. How do you have energy to create over here? You don't. And then you force yourself to do things and you expect them to come forth. You're doing things without energy. Like you're dragging yourself to freaking try to do things, but you don't have energy because you're running all these open windows in the background. We talked about a little bit on the producer's edition, we was talking about having all the windows open on your phone. Like if you have all these windows open on your phone, Like, that's why your battery dies fast, right? It's the same thing with you, right? Like, you're running all these old patterns in the background. How do you expect for you to create this new thing, right? And a quick story before I go off on this other topic. Yesterday, like, our refrigerator, we have the refrigerator has the water and the ice and everything, right? And the line bust, right? Now, we went and we got a new line yesterday. And my son, he's like handyman, right? He loves building things and creating things. He actually is studying mechatronics right now. It's like engineering, mechanics, electrical engineering. It's a combination of stuff. So he loves all this stuff. So he wanted to do it, right? So he goes in and we pull the refrigerator out. He starts working on it. And the first thing that I saw him do wrong was that he opened up the package. He took it out. Now the package has the pieces that you need to connect the new holes in. And he tried to take the old holes and connect it to the old pieces. And he's like being frustrated, like, oh, this is not working. I'm like, Papi, what are you doing? I'm like, this came with pieces. This is new. You can't fit the new with the old. It just won't work. And maybe sometimes it will. But guess what? That old piece is going to go bad before the rest of it does. And that old piece is now going to ruin the new piece that you put in. You know, and I know it sounds like something simple, but this is what we do. Like, we run these programs where we're trying to create this newness in our life, and we have all this old shit that we're carrying along with us. That ain't gonna work, right? So going back to what it is that I was explaining to my brother was, how do you do this, right? So how do you let go of these old programs? You starve them. You don't feed them, right? And so, like, if you continue, there's this old Native American story that you have the good wolf and the bad wolf. How does one wolf beat the other? You starve one and you feed the other. Right? That's what you need to do with your thoughts. You must master your mental landscape in order for you to create this new thing that you're looking to create. Right? So, okay, Sam, how do you do this? The moment some bullshit starts running in your mind, don't take it lightly. Don't take it lightly like, oh, it's just a thought. No, your thoughts are alive. Your thoughts are like a psychic entity. It has life, right? And the more energy you give it, the more it will birth into your reality. Like, so what you want to have essentially is a mental abortion, right? Like, do not allow this to be birthed into your reality. And how do you do it? By starving it. So the moment that this thought comes in, don't try to like, oh, let me try to switch the thought. No, just stop it. Period. The moment you start running these old programs, oh, I can't because of this, or this is happening, or I gotta pay this bill, or I feel like shit, or this person did this, and just stop it. Period. Stop. Period. Oh, but that's hard. I didn't say it was going to be easy. Right? So if you want to do something for yourself to give yourself a trigger, right? Sometimes you can just have the mental visualization. You are aware that you're running this thought. If you want, whoosh it away. If that's a good thing for you. Snap your fingers. Or I don't know, something, whatever works for you. You know, something that works for me is that I see it, I wrap it up, and it's gone. And I don't allow myself to go into that thought. Now, am I perfect at this? No, I'm not. Now, does it work? Yes, it does. Right? And then as you start starving these negative thoughts that you've been running so long, they start to weaken. And now you start feeding the thoughts of new creation. And how do you feed it? You start first thing in the motherfucking morning. When you wake up in the morning, you visualize. You sit there, you look, you see what it is that you want to create. You feel what you want to create. and you ask for guidance for each step of the way. And now you start exercising and feeding and buffing up those thoughts of new creation that you want to create, not the things that you don't want to create. Right? And so to go a little bit deeper, how much these negative thoughts have been feasting off of you, when you go to bed, 9 out of 10 of you are not, and I'm telling you this because I know I've been through this, right? And sometimes when there's something of big impact, sometimes these old patterns or a thread of it will come up, right? And they'll come up. And the reason why I'm saying this is because this is what happens. Instead of you going to bed with the thought of new creation, no, you go to bed thinking about like, shit, I didn't get to do this. Shit, oh my gosh, this thing. Oh, tomorrow I have to do this. Oh, I got to get up in the morning and do this. Oh my gosh, this happened today. Oh, feeding it, feeding it, feeding it, feeding it. Now, when you go to bed, when now your conscious mind shuts off, your subconscious mind is going to take that baton and race the thoughts that you had before you went to bed. And now when you go to sleep, your brain consolidates, right? And it consolidates. It's like, no good. Okay, keep. Okay, create. Now, what are you consolidating, and what it is that you're telling your brain to recreate? Negative thoughts. Most people lay in bed and they're looking to the ceiling like, oh my gosh, this, oh my gosh, that. How is that serving you? You're just feeding these negative thoughts. So what you want to do is, before I said start in the morning, now at nighttime, you want to feed the thoughts of creation, of the new creation that you want to create, right? And so you just close your eyes, or you can even look in the ceiling if you want. Allow yourself to daydream and create the things that you want. And as you're reviewing your day, right? Because instead of saying like, oh, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, how about we start focusing on the things that you did create? The things that you can be proud of, the things that make you feel good. Like, you know what? I did this today. You know what? I took the time to do that today. You know what? I said that to that person today. You know what? I accomplished this today. And end your day in that. So now you can start to create the vibration, the thoughts, the feeling of what it is that you look at it in a positive way. Like you feed in that good wolf, right? That wolf of light, that wolf that's going to drive your creation into what it is that you want to create to the betterment of your life, right? Instead of now feeding this dark wolf. No, let's not do that anymore. And then the moment that you lay down and these negative thoughts start coming in, just cut it off. Literally, cut it off. Nope, you ain't eating here tonight. Close the door. And now take the moment to start off with just a moment of gratitude. What today brought gratitude into my heart? What did I do today that made me feel good? Who did I help today that made me feel good, right? Let's focus on that. Start off with that. And as you start getting that momentum, now you fall into creation. And you start to see in your mind space, in your daydream, eyes closed, eyes open, whatever it is, start to now look at what it is that you want to create. Allow yourself to feel the excitement of like, oh, yes, tomorrow I get to do this. You know, oh, yes, I get to do that. Or I'm looking forward to this. And now even if you don't have all the pieces in place to this thing that you want to do, allow yourself to daydream. Like, don't you think it'll be a better thing to daydream of something positive versus mentally rehearsing all the bullshit that is driving you crazy and sucking away your life? Like, it's a simple thing. You know, it's not easy, but it's a simple thing. And you can do it. If I could do it, you can do it. If people that I've worked with, they can do it, you can do it. And trust me, there's been some. I know I'm fucked up. I was a very fucked up individual. And if I could do it, you could do it. But there's been some people I work with that they really fucked up. But they took the time to put these things into place, put the practices into place, and shoo, like their life has fucking changed. And I don't know if you saw the big smile that went into my face, because it just brings so much joy when I think about it, right? It's such a beautiful thing, because to see a fellow brother and a fellow sister to be transformed in such a way, and God using me to help them, it's just amazing. It's an amazing feeling. Oof. Yeah, that hit me. So I'm here to tell you that you could do it too. You could do it too. All right, so start putting these practices into place, right? So in the evening, what you can do is start to visualize throughout the day. When this is happening, when these negative thoughts start coming in, snap your fingers and say no. Or you can use words, cancel, cancel, delete, delete, program override, whatever works for you. Because we are all different types of individuals, right? Some of us are a little more artistic and, artsy fartsy, woo woo, and we'll like to do like me. I like a little whoosh, and I see the thought disappear. Other people are more programming, computer type, logical brain, and, cancel, cancel, delete, delete, program override. Like, just get it out of the way. Like, you no longer are going to willingly, because you're willingly doing this, by the way, but you didn't know what you were doing. And now you know. You can't say that you don't know. You saw this, now you know. Now start taking the steps to, when this happens, to stop. Now I want to bring my brother into this example again, because we had this conversation. And he's like, when the moment that I stopped the thought, I felt good again. I'm like, no shit. Right? Because what you think creates chemistry. Right? It starts to shoot off all these hormones in the body. Now, if you're running these negative thoughts in your mind, don't think that the vibration and the feeling that's going to run through your body is going to be uplifting. It's not. Right? And so when you cut and stop feeding it, then it can't send those chemicals into your body. It can't. You're no longer thinking about it. But the moment that you switch it now, and just cut it. First of all, that's the first thing, cut it. Don't try to wrestle and fight with it. Don't do that. Just cut, period. Go about whatever it is you're doing, and don't allow yourself to get into the thought. When you continue to have the consistency of feeding the positive thoughts, automatically, you're going to start thinking about the new thoughts. Now, when you're thinking about the new thoughts throughout the day, the chemistry and the chemicals that's now being shot up through your brain into the body are going to be uplifting chemicals. There's going to be chemicals that make you feel good. And guess what? When you feel good, your heart feels good. And when your heart is feeling good, that magnetic field around the heart now is pumping all this shit into your field. And as that is happening, now your vibration change. And if you feel good, you will create good things. If you feel like shit, you will create shitty things. Again, very simple. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's a very simple concept. Right? And Sam, how does all this fit into consistency? You said this was going to be about consistency. I had to explain to you first why you're not being consistent. So now that you understand why, and you have some tools that you can put into place to practice your consistency, now you will have, I'm going to use a word that's used so much that I don't agree sometimes how it's used, but I'm going to use it because I know that you're going to understand it. Now you're going to have the faith that the things that you set out for will be accomplished. And it's only a matter of time. You understand? So you're going to have the faith that the things that you are setting out to create and accomplish will come to pass. And it's only a matter of time. When you have that understanding, you will walk through whatever it is you got to walk through, because you know eventually it's there. But when you're doing things and you having this struggle with your thoughts and you're going through that yo-yo effect, it's hard. It's really hard for you to create these new things that you know in your heart, in your mind, in your spirit, in your soul that you could and want to create. But when you're being pulled back by all these negative forces, then how is that? How is that conducive to you and your creation? It's not. Right? So now that you have these tools and you can take the time to change your state, to change your emotions, to give yourself a vision on a continual basis, consistency will not be an issue, because now consistency will become excitement. Like, you're going to be excited. That consistency is now going to connect with excitement, because all the chemicals and all the hormones that you're going to be shooting because of the positive thoughts that you're putting on a daily basis is going to pull you to create what it is that you're looking to create. Right? Right. And I know I said a lot right now, and it was like rapid fire, but this is the beauty about recording these things. You could play them back, and every time you play them back, you're gonna see that you're gonna see. Right? Yeah, exactly. Right? So let's wrap it up for today. I'm sending you guys so much love, so much peace, and I want you to understand that I believe in you so much, because you are me and I am you, and we are one. Until next time, sending you so much love and peace.